All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It's a beautiful day in Yakima, and we're about to do the drive from Yakima, Washington to the Tri-Cities, they call them, Kennewick, Pasco, and Richland. And some of you guys have requested that the next time I'm on the road, show us the sights. So a lot of long, brown, rolling hills out here in central Washington. Again, a lot of people think of Washington and Oregon. They think of green, big trees. And that is very true west of the mountains. East of the mountains is high desert. And looks a lot like what you think of when you think of California. So not quite as warm as California. Well, the summers are warm, but the rest of the year definitely isn't because it's further north. So won't be the most scenic drive, but you'll get to see what it's all about out here in case you've never been to the Pacific Northwest in this part of the States. But yeah, while we drive, also just talk about whatever's on the mind. People are always so focused on the drama. Some new drama last night on the radio show. I was trying to get it to stop, but it seemed like somebody just wanted to do drama, so I just had to pull the plug for the week. And again, it's amazing how people just love to just lay out their responses to a little bit of drama. It's like, I mean, you guys, it's just like last night, the little thing that happened, not even really that big of a deal. Mountains out of molehills. But seriously, like more feedback on that little thing than, driving across the country, engaging with the truth seekers, getting people to come out for 9/11, like literally more responses to that little thing last night than a whole trip across the country trying to do something right. And again, it just shows you like where humanity's at. You know? It's like we don't want to progress. We just want to stay in the low vibration, fighting over nothing. And some interesting people came out of the woodwork to comment on what happened last night. It's like, there's a guy that used to come on the show, and he'd always ask if he could come on the show, and hey, Zach, can you promote my thing? And I'd always let him come on and promote him. And he built up a decent following there on his Instagram. Now he doesn't come on anymore. He's doing all right. He's doing the sports Patreon thing like me, and I don't really pay attention, but people get back to me. They're like, man, he's digging on you now. It's like, really? He comes out of the woodwork. He says, look how poisonous Zach is. Look how he treats Rambo. It's just like, who are these people? I helped build up all you guys. Didn't have to promote any of you. And I don't know. It's just like clout chasers, man. It's just like, what are you going to do about humanity? So, but yeah, if anyone thinks I'm the bad guy, you guys can think whatever you want. Show me who else in the truth community is putting $1,000 out a month to host a community censorship-free site to help unite people, have a platform to put stuff without fear of getting censored. Again, it's just like, people don't really care about positivity. They're just always looking for something to nag on or ridicule. And it's sad, And probably they'll say, well, Zach, you're real negative. I'm real negative about the state of affairs in the world and the fact that humanity doesn't seem to want to step up to the plate and take on what needs to be taken on. I feel that there's a right to be negative about that. I've been looking at it for all of my adult life. I only had the fortune of being an adult for about 3 weeks before 9/11 happened. Well, I guess it was a little more than that. Maybe it was like 5 or 6 weeks, but whatever, it wasn't long. And then I thought, what kind of world do I live in? People can't see through this obvious lie. Now I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy for calling out the lie. You know what I mean? It's just like so easy. So easy for people to think you're the bad guy. And you got to be a bad guy. For doing the right thing, become the bad guy. But other people don't want to hear you can become the bad guy. But yeah, again, you guys, it's just like, and the other thing, just to say about people who live in the comments, it's like last year when we went to Oklahoma City, all these people came out, all these really cool people, you don't even know they're out there. They're like, yeah, I don't post any comments. Like, comments is just like all a bunch of trolls and drama. I mean, there's good people that just watch the streams and they're not participating in the comments. And it's just like when you go read reviews for anything, it's like, you know, a lot of places probably have worse reviews than they deserve because most people don't leave a comment if it's positive. They just expect the positive experience, but if they have a bad experience, then they're leaving a 1-star review, and, you know. And then you got some people that are just unreasonable. Like my mom, she runs a wreath business, and anybody who's ever had a problem with her wreath, she's always given them a full refund, even if it was like their bad, their fault. You know, and even still, sometimes she's giving people a full refund, and they've still went on and left a 1-star review because they were unhappy that when the wreath got there in the mail, it was destroyed. And it's like, well, you got to understand that sometimes things get broken in the mail. But yeah, people just, again, it's like the flaw of the human species, just dwelling on negativity. And for people to say I'm negative, again, I don't feel like I'm dwelling on negativity. I feel like I'm exposing really evil, negative stuff, and rightfully frustrated that most people are just marching along, or if it is being exposed to them, they're coming back and ridiculing you and giving you the same old bot type of responses. Oh, you're just one of these conspiracy theory people. It's like, conspiracy theory? What's theory at this point? Are we not proving our points every day? By the way, shout out to the people who already sent tips for March Madness. All you guys who sent tips, thank you very much. But we're just getting underway. Wait till the day's over. Make sure it's a winning day all the way through. We're off to a great start in March Madness. And again, you guys, I mean, it's sad. It's sad that at this day and age, after a decade of proving my point, that like everybody in the world's not recognizing what's going on at this exact moment. I mean, you look at CNN's front page right now. What's on their front page? Virginia college basketball upset. And it's weird. The whole media has been hyping that upset. The media is starting to give out proper picks, which is interesting. That's a new trend. I guess maybe it's because more people are gambling, so they got to give out an occasional winner. Before, the media just gave nothing but just like horrible advice. But lately, they're giving some winners. All of the media was selling Furman to upset Virginia. But look at CNN's front page right now. It's a story about a man being killed in a Virginia hospital. And then the other headline is Virginia upset. And then it's hilarious because you decode the guy. Well, first of all, they say he's 28 years old. But then you decode his name, and his name equals 28. And then you decode Furman, who just upset Virginia, and their name equals 28. And they just picked up their 28th win of the season. And, you know, I put up a video about that, and right away the first response is an automatic troll post. Just somebody who knows they're being purposely deceptive. Again, we stayed up late last night. We're perfect through the bracket. You could say where I'm not perfect is the Furman-Virginia game. But what I told people is I said, Furman had really great numbers to upset Virginia, and I said it was worth an upset pick. But I said the thing is, don't go crazy on it because the media is selling that pick, so a lot of people are going to be betting Furman to upset. But I think they're actually doing that now. I'm noticing that's the new trend in recent months. I'm seeing a lot of correct picks in sports, from the Super Bowl to, you know, just this with Furman. And if Dayton ends up upsetting Miami, if that does happen, that's the other pick that the media has been selling like crazy, the 2 March Madness upsets. Maybe they both won't be right, but Furman definitely had the better numbers of those two. Dayton doesn't really, or not, did I say Dayton? I mean Drake. They're selling Drake to upset Miami, but Drake doesn't have the great numbers to upset Miami. Furman had the great numbers to upset. But anyway, the point is, I mean, for what I've proven for the last decade, for how many people I've helped out financially in just all sorts of ways, freeing themselves from the matrix, the energy manipulation, I mean, there should be like 1 million people right now going, here it is again. Look at the front page of CNN. It shouldn't just be me putting out the video. I mean, everybody should be putting out the video. You know? I learned about this 10 years ago from Zach. Look at it. Virginia tragedy. Virginia out in the first round. And remember the other year, you guys, it was the other year. The other year that Virginia won the championship. I gave it all to you guys for free in February. I said, look at this. They're saying the lieutenant governor of Virginia raped a woman back in his college days at Duke, the day before Virginia plays Duke. And I said, look at how his name lines up with the championship date. And let's pay attention to Tony Bennett, their coach's record. And sure enough, Virginia wins the championship, all synced up with the bogus news story, which was so clearly connected to college basketball. It's undeniable, you guys, what I've been teaching. And that's really the only focus there should be on me. Some people want to make it about me. Like, why are you guys so worried about me? I've said 1,000,000 times, I'm not a perfect person. I have all sorts of personality flaws. I've always owned that. And again, I've said it's about the work and the knowledge. Get the work and the knowledge out there. Help wake up your fellow man. all these comments. I don't follow Zach anymore because I don't like Zach. It's like, okay. And then look at them, all in Travis's channel. Now they like Travis. Travis just wants to bend them over. But yeah, it's just, I mean, you guys, what I have put out there and just worked relentlessly to prove, it's the thing that can change the world. And a lot of y'all do know that, and that's why there's so many loyal followers. But all you guys who just get so caught up in the drama and, as one guy likes to call it, the cult of personality, again, you guys got to work on that. It's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. This channel is about knowledge, information, and fighting tyrants. And again, I mean, people just want to get caught up on personality flaws. This was never a, well, you know what? I mean, it wasn't a self-help channel, but in a way, if you guys have listened to me, you've definitely become healthier people. You become financially smarter. I've always promoted a lot of good advice along the way, too. I don't think there's any real bad advice I've given out. I've modeled bad behavior, no doubt about that. So, that's why when people talk about that, like, I understand that. I'm like, yeah, I have modeled some bad behavior. But again, more intelligent people will say, well, I don't really like Zach's personality, but the work, man, the work is what it's about. That's why I follow. And yeah, I mean, just the other thing that's just getting just so irritating is how many people I've helped build them a nice financial thing, a nice platform, nice recognition for their work. And then they just get so sour over little things, Last night, just the latest example, and it's just so obvious what happened, because what he was talking about last night when he called into the show, that didn't even happen in the last week. I can't remember exactly when that happened. I'd say that happened sometime within the last 3 weeks, month, somewhere in that time frame. But I was annoyed with Will because Will said he wanted to debate me, and I said, okay, let's debate. And then Will backed down. He didn't want to debate, but I was just annoyed because Will, Will had RPM Trey on, and Trey was trying to share about Gematria, and then Will's cutting RPM off, saying he doesn't want to talk about Gematria. It's like, what's your problem, Will? I thought Will was grateful. Will said it's good. He likes to come out where I'm at because people come out. So why are we going against the work all of a sudden? And again, I know what it is. It's because, I could be nicer to Will. But the reason I'm not nice to Will is because I'm real, you guys. It's not that I'm mean to Will either. What I'm saying to Will doesn't like. But what I'm saying is true. I'm saying, Will, it's a waste of time to walk up to cops and go, hey, what's the first amendment? Hey, what's the third amendment? Hey, cop, what's the Fifth Amendment, cop? It's like, what is this going to change? Like, since when didn't we know that cops aren't the sharpest tools in the shed? Why do we need to go up and quiz cops about amendments? Like, is that really? But again, you see, that's a big cash cow on YouTube. That they allow you to have a monetized channel. They allow you to. I mean, there's people making tons of money just walking up and starting stuff with cops. Will's sidekick, who beats women from what I've learned and treats people like shit, even treated Will like shit, but Will continues to suck up to him because they have 500,000 subscribers. And see, that's part of the thing too. Like, Will looks at me and thinks like, oh, well, Zach's channel's not that big. Well, you're wrong to look at it that way, Will, because the guy who you suck up to, who's a human piece of shit, his channel would be a lot smaller than mine if I wasn't shadow banned and deleted 20 sometimes. I'd probably have multi-million subs based on the way we've grown in the past. I can't anymore. It's like we're in algorithm hell. But again, that guy's not doing anything for the world. That guy is walking into post office, getting the police called on him, and then calling people names and quizzing them on amendments. And he might be making $10,000 in views per stream. But what is that doing for the world? That's not doing anything for the world besides maybe bringing us closer to, having new laws made for why we can't live stream in public. That's what the legacy of that's going to be. But yeah, people watch that because they like drama. It's entertaining to them. Oh, look how mad the post office worker got. Look at all those cops coming. When I go out and talk to cops about, the latest supposed mass murder, what happens to my video? Not monetizable. Deleted for medical misinformation. So, Anyhow. But yeah, I wish Will would come on and debate. I would like for Will to come on and debate, and let's talk about what's more important. Bring actual knowledge that exposes who's ruling over the world. Here, show me a million First Amendment audits. What's it prove? What did my work prove on January 2nd when I said the DeMar Hamlin thing was a collapse that was showing financial turmoil in March in the Collapse 83 ritual? And now we have like what? Just in a matter of days, we got 5 more 83 collapse rituals in the month of March, like I said back at the start of January. That's why this knowledge has to be out there. So, anyway, it's just, yeah, again, and you know, sometimes I just want to say it's because maybe people are the way they are because they just don't have enough intelligence. They can't do the math. They can't see what is important. Maybe he really thinks if enough people get out and start asking cops what the First Amendment is, they'll start respecting our rights. Again, you know, is that really what we want? Is that enough for cops to respect our rights? I mean, we need a revolution, you guys. I've always said that, revolution or bust. That's not just some tagline. That's like what this country needs. That's like what I've been pushing for, to get enough people to wake up to how bad it is, to how bad the game is, to how rigged the game is, to where we're being taken, why it's not going to be a quality of life. I mean, 10 years ago, what was I saying? They're taking us to a really bad place, a surveillance state, a diminished quality of life, a world that looks like Wall-E, where the kids, you know, they don't even get to go outside because there's so much fear. The parents are so afraid. You know, you're sitting there pushing red button, blue button for what choice of slop you want for the day. It's almost like that with all the deliveries. I had to go to the dental office this morning, and all the hygienists and employees were in there doing their order together through like whatever eats. You know, getting all the goodies and muffins and coffees. And in a way, it's good because, I mean, they're supporting somebody else's job who's making the delivery. But at the same time, it's like, I bet all these people don't make that good of money, and they're spending all this money on this needless goodies. And it's like a lot of people are packing pounds here. It's just... Anyway, I'm trying to stop the society that they're trying to create. That's what this channel's about. I see where they're taking us. I have proven my point. There's not a single thing on this channel that I've said about the direction they're taking us that's been wrong. The moron will come and be like, well, you were wrong about that one sports game. It's like, okay, that's not the point, moron. Am I not correct that the game is rigged and they're syncing up with all kinds of rituals and news and ritualistic death? That's what I'm right about. That's what I'm right about. Propaganda news, rigged sports day after day, sucking up the minds of the masses, the energy of the masses. Obvious rituals, like treat you like you're dumb, like CNN's front page right now. Virginia tragedy. Virginia upset. And then again, they said the guy died on March 6th. The story that's up on the front page right now. 3-6 or 6-3. Guess what Cavaliers equals? 36 small way, 63 big way. He's dead. The Cavaliers are dead. The Virginia Cavaliers. Let's not forget the dead football players either. They were nice enough to announce that story on King Charles's birthday. Again, those who fought for King Charles were Cavaliers. But here, give you guys a little different view for a second. You know, you look out this way, a lot of agriculture out here. Poor cows, they gotta live in the dirt field. Some more brown rolling hills over here. You know, it's agriculture land out here. A lot of apples grow out here. So anyhow, this is Central Washington. Low income. Big agriculture. It's good to know Spanish out here. It's funny, I was working hard on learning my Spanish when I first moved out here in 2018, and then I stopped. I shouldn't have stopped. If I kept working hard, I'd probably be speaking some pretty good Spanish by now. But yeah, you guys, just looking forward. I mean, I just wish people would seriously get over the drama, stop coming to my channel and crying about all the things you don't like. Again, have a fair perspective. Like, literally, who else in this community is hosting a website for free, a big platform, a nice platform, to help you connect with people? That's the reason I run that platform, to help other people connect, to feel less isolated, to make new friends, to promote themselves, to have a safe place to post stuff without fear of it being censored and deleted. I mean, who else is doing that? I've been doing that for 4 years now. There's people in this community that make way more through ad revenue and sales and all the stuff they're doing. I don't do a whole lot of that. There's people that are making way more that put nothing back in the community, and they don't have people attacking them every day and making videos about them. They don't have trolls on them the first thing they post. And again, my trolls, the reason they're here is not because all you guys are getting caught up in, like, the reason you got so many people attacking you is because you're a mean person. That's not what it is. All you guys who are falling for that, I'm telling you, you better figure out where you can get some IQ juice to up those points, because that's not what it's about. What it's about is the fact that I am exposing these assholes that rule this world and how they operate every single day. So they got all their little bots and minions to harass 24/7 and put noise in people's ears and stir up people like it did you know who last night. But yeah, it is sad how in the last year and a half, how much work I've put in and how much I've done and sacrifice I've made, and how few people fallen off the bus, because in the time I've pushed for that, it made the other people push even harder against me. And it took a psychological toll on a lot of people. A lot of people falling for the campaign. And you realize it works. Negative campaigns work. That's why when politics comes around, all you see on TV are negative attack ads. What do you think's going on with me 24/7, 365? All these negative attack ads from all these different angles every single day. The only fault I've really had, and again, I don't even know if it's necessarily fault. A lot of people appreciate the rants I do, but hey, when you take a collage of rants over several years and chop up maybe the biggest parts that I shouldn't have said, you can make me look extra bad. But again, for people who fall for that, again, I'd say that's a low IQ. Say only really low IQ types are falling for it, and sadly, we live in a world of a lot of low IQs. For anybody who gets butthurt over that statement, sorry, I guess you don't like talking about reality. I'm blunt, I'm honest, I call spades spades. We live in a time of a lot of dumb people, a lot of overweight, sloppy people. Shout out to Golden Mask, I appreciate that. But yeah, things need to be called out, things need to be said. And I realize, if I could do it all over again, maybe I'd go on here and act like a con man, because that's what people really like. There's all kinds of con men with huge subscribers that just talk out of their ass. They're so obviously full of shit, but they're duping everybody because they're throwing in how much they love Jesus. And then the next word out of their mouth is how they can't wait to buy a Lamborghini. Things are going great. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for all the financial support. I'm going to have that Lambo soon. We're all here about Jesus. Like, wait a minute. And like, what Jesus person is buying Lamborghinis? That's what I mean about these Christians in this country. It's like they don't even know what their religion's about. I guarantee you the last thing Jesus would be spending money on is a Lambo. Nobody's making videos about that guy. Making 100,000 ad revenue a month, pushing nothing but bullshit. Yeah, you guys, I mean, I don't really have any advice for you, but just keep listening to me and buy gold and silver. You'll be like me. You'll have 14 houses, your own businesses. Don't ask me about my businesses. I stream 24/7, 365. It's like anyone with a brain would be like, what business does this guy have? All he does is stream all day. God. I'm sure he's got 14 houses. But the one, I'm not going to tell you what I'm talking about, but the thing about that guy is, if you're funny and fat, it's like an adoring thing. It's like why a lot of the best comedians are fat. So that guy's fat. He's got a good sense of humor. He can sing a little bit. So I mean, he's entertaining and talented, but he's also just like selling people just bullshit ideas, no real advice, making $1 million on the tube, and again, just the kind of person that people love. A fat, funny con man. You can't find a single negative thing about him on YouTube. Meanwhile, what's he done for the world? Not a damn thing. Made a lot of money on YouTube ads. And you know what? At the same time, it's like if people want to watch that and enjoy it, that's fine. But I'm painting the picture of the reality of this world. Guy who does absolutely nothing. People love him because he's funny and makes them laugh. Guy who actually works his ass off, gets out, puts out knowledge to change the world. Thank you. The glare on the screen, I couldn't make out your name, but I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Just go in retirement, go hang out at the Krispy Kreme for a few months, write my comedy sketch, come back 100 pounds overweight, some nice big adorable cheeks, so Travis can squeeze them. Come back with my new donut cheeks. See if I can put enough alcohol down my throat to start the balding process early. Start looking like the average American. Come back with a few funny jokes. Maybe we'll finally make it. We're passing through the lovely town of Sunnyside, which actually today's a rare day. It doesn't stink, but normally when you come through here, you'd wish you had a mask. Sunnyside should be renamed because you don't think about it. Is sunny out here a lot, no doubt about it, but man, you don't think of sunshine. It's just like, actually, you know what's funny? If you talk to people, it's amazing how your body can adjust to anything. People who live in Sunnyside do not smell it. And it's just like, how can you not smell it? This is the worst smelling town. I've lived in another place where it was smelly. It used to have a paper mill when I was younger. And the paper mill, when it was on, would stink bad. It's funny, anytime people came around who didn't know about the paper mill, like, people going to visit, they'd be like, did you just fart? Like, no, that's the paper mill. Wow, that stinks. But yeah, this town is 10 times worse than that paper mill town was. I got to look into why that town stinks so bad. I mean, it's got to be something more than the cows, because there's a lot of places that have cows, and yeah, cows smell like manure, but it's like... But yeah, again, if you're just tuning in, I'm just talking about stuff off the top of my brain. Somebody said they wanted to see the next time I was on the road what it looked like out here. Give you some more better views. Again, it's central Washington, high desert, a lot of browns. It'll be looking a lot prettier, though, here once spring comes around, you know. Fall, you get some nice color variation in the trees, but you don't see a lot of big trees on this side of the state like you do on the western side of the state where the evergreens are. So, a lot more agriculture, though. But yeah, anyway, for me personally, you know, I'll always keep pushing. I mean, in all likelihood, what I'm doing now will be what I do for the rest of my life, because one of the things about doing this is that, as I found out, I'm no longer hireable as a teacher. I'm sure if I haven't tried to work anywhere else besides go back to my teaching position. I imagine that I might have the same experience if I ever tried to work anywhere else. Oh, sorry, we can't hire you because of your online reputation. It's like, man, my online reputation should be good overall. I understand that it's got some negative points, but man, what I have put out in the world is stuff that everybody should be on board with. But again, the majority of the world is not on board with the truth. The truth is not profitable. It doesn't make you friends. It's not fun to think about. At the same time, though, it is something that people should embrace, recognize, and then use to make the difference in the world that needs to be made. It would only take a day, too, man. You get a mass uprising in Washington, D.C., an actual real one instead of a staged January 6th. You get a real uprising, and you take over the Capitol and say, listen, these people are never filling these halls again. They're never making another one of these bullshit laws again. By the way, speaking of bullshit laws, a video I will be doing soon. It's up on my website as a post, a written post. But in Washington State, it's all synced up with Joe Biden. It's got the Jesuit fingerprints all over it. And it makes me think that, Washington State becoming the 10th state to ban assault weapons, and this one's super synced with Joe, it makes me think that we're not too far from a 94 assault weapons ban. And by the way, the governor out here in Washington State, Jay Inslee, He was a congressman back in 94, and he was part of that assault weapons ban in 94. It makes me think Washington State, next up Washington, D.C., and I suspect the next time they do an assault weapons ban, they'll figure out how to make it a lot more permanent. And again, it's amazing that people are cheering this stuff on. And it's under total mind control. And again, imagine had the world woken up to what I've been showing them. You think they'd be under that mind control going along with these agendas? Of course not. They would be seeing through it. They'd be seeing through it. All of you guys who sit around and hate on me, go back and do the math and tell me who for the last decade has pushed as hard as I have to wake people up and get information out there. I mean, I've been grinding. Like literally 24/7, 365. Grinding, proving my point, getting out the word, getting out the knowledge, getting buried in the algorithm, getting deleted. But never getting deterred, never taking a day off. And again, that's the thing about humanity, right? You can do 100 nice things, you do one negative thing, people will be all hung up on the negative thing. Nobody cares about the positives, everyone loves to dwell on the negative. I'm not that way, though. That's how most people are. I'm not that way. I'm fair. I'm like, you know what? I'll give that guy a break. That guy's helped me out a lot. It's just like even, the guy who called in last night all mopey for the second time in recent weeks. It's like, are you serious? Are you serious, bruh? Are you serious, bruh? It's like, dude, all I've done for years is promote you, build you up, tell people to financially support you. And because you got trolls in your ear, you're getting all hung up on some little thing that's not even about you. But honestly, in a way, I'm glad those things happen because it's just like, if ever I ever have a camp, I can't have people like that in my camp. I'll keep promoting them for doing the good work, but I just know at the end of the day, that's not somebody I can roll with. I can't roll with people like that. It's like those people, I mean, corny. The other guy who got in the comments saying, that I'm poison, and all I ever did for him was build him up and build up his platform. Oh, I'm poison, really? All I ever did was promote you and help you out. Now I'm poison. And you know what he's so butthurt about? He got an interview with Larry Johnson, same Larry Johnson from the Kansas City Chiefs who came on TFR back in January 2020. And Larry Johnson really didn't like the interview and said the next day that he wasn't going to do an interview with him again. And it was obvious that he was getting annoyed in the interview because the guy kept cutting him off and kind of making like silly comments. And then I just said to him, that wasn't a good way to represent the community and the work. Larry's doing Gematria decodes though now, which is pretty cool to see. But yeah, that guy got all butthurt about that, and I just called him out. And it wasn't unfair what I said. I just said, dude, you didn't do a good job representing the work. And I said, man, you shouldn't be cut. He kept cutting. It's like let him answer the question, man. Nobody wants to hear from you. Who are you? Nobody cares about your opinion. If you got Larry Johnson for the interview, let him answer the question. Stop talking over him and asking silly stuff and trying to ask personal details. It's just like, all I did to that guy is just because I promoted him too. I mean, my reputation's on the line. I'm promoting you. I'm helping build up your platform. I don't want you doing whack things. But people are weak, man. And that guy's a clown. I realize now that guy's a clown. He's he's going to the sports games and bragging about being at the games. It's like, dude, you're not awake. Nobody who's awake is going and supporting these sports teams and spending money at these stadiums. These leagues that kill people, are you kidding me? You're watching my videos about how they're sacrificing people and then you're gloating about going to the games? No, you're not awake. His comment, he's like, Zach, can you just have more fun? Go out and do something fun. It's like, dude, I have plenty of fun in my life. My life is not about having fun, though. My life is about doing the work to change the world. That's what I care about. I don't care so much about vacations. Sweet lady and I, we have our fun. We usually do something at least once a week, something little fun. We both work hard. But yeah, that guy's in the Matrix. That guy's not really about it. That guy learned Gematria to build it up on his own platform so he could do what I do. Sell sports picks on Patreon. Oh, that's working for Zach. Let me try that too. And I've helped build up a lot of people, their Patreons. But yeah, it's just like, this is the world you live in. And it's not like I'm just learning this from being on the internet. This is the world I've always lived in. I've been the person my whole life that's held everyone's hand. Help them out with everything. Schoolwork, moving, whatever it is. You know, picking up at jail on Christmas Eve. Day I need something, none of these people ever help me out. That's what I learned in this world. It's like, I can't count on other people. I don't rely on other people. I take care of me. And because I guess I'm fortunate and in position to help people out, I'll help out people when people ask for help. So there's not a single person in this community who hasn't reached out to me and asked for help that I haven't helped. And again, it's just like the other year. I helped a guy several times. He kept coming back to me for more and more help. And then, he's having a meltdown day in the comments, talking shit to people in the comments, and I told him to chill out, and he was in the wrong. And then he's all cussing me out, and then through text message saying, like, fuck you, you're not getting any of your money back. It's like, oh, okay, because you're screaming at people that they're morons in the chat because they don't know that the Denver Broncos are in the NFC. He was screaming at people saying that the Denver Broncos are in the NFC. It's like, dude, the Denver Broncos are in the AFC. You're in the wrong. Why are you cussing people out in the chat and you don't even know what conference they're in? And he's cussing me out. I don't know. It's just, that's how people are, though, you guys. It's like, oh, my God, because I checked you in the comments. I hope your kid's doing all right. That's why I kept giving him money, because he kept saying his kid was having all these problems. But it's just like, humanity, man, it's gross. I got a bunch of haters in this world who I've done literally nothing to but help them. And if the guy calling in last night all mopey, if he's joining that list, that's fine, because I'm already used to that. But like I said, that's not a reason to go unsupport him. I still think he does good work, and his work contributes to the community. So even if he's mopey and got that energy and, dwells too much on the negative and doesn't appreciate the positive, whatever. At least he does good work. That's the reason to support him. Just like the point I was making. He does good work, so he's still worth continuing to support. That's how everyone should evaluate. Is the information good? Okay, let me take the information. That's where the phrase comes from. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. And it's just like even last night, the one lady called in and used that exact phrase, but it's like, at the same time, she should have already been able to, she didn't need to call in and say that, did she? Because wasn't it obvious that I hadn't thrown out the baby with the bathwater? Like I said to people, I said, I kept his channel up all night. I said, still support his channel, you guys. I said, don't be fighting in the comments about it. But yeah, people are just way too in their feelings too at this day and age. People all in their feelings. You guys want to know something else funny? I swear to God, like I wish I could be in somebody else's car. I'm like, are they playing the same songs on their Sirius XM station as mine? I feel like so often when I get in the car and I turn on the Sirius XM, the song is talking to me. And twice today when I've turned on the car, the same song was on the radio. And it's that Pearl Jam song, Better Man. I was like, okay, I guess the universe is telling me I got to be better. Of course, we all do. We should improve each day. Some areas where I want to make improvements, I seem to not really progress, but maybe one day. Maybe when I eclipse 40. It's coming fast. They scheduled my next dentist appointment. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be 40 then. But, we might come here because the hills might cut out the signal. Got some big rolling hills here. Some free range cattle. Might have missed them before I got the camera on them, but somebody's got some land letting the cows out. I'll try to show you something here when we come up on it. There's this nice little view I like here. If I was in a higher up car, get a better view of it. But this nice little town just right down on the river with the rolling hills. Every time I drive by there, I'm like, that's where I would like to live. But 200 years ago, before big federal tyranny, before chalky skies, it's all in our imagination. Didn't you read the Yale article? They said geoengineering's still at least a decade away. I can't wait to see what it looks like, because they keep telling us how the geoengineering is coming in a decade. What's the next phase of the geoengineering going to look like? Going to have like pink skies? LGBTQ color skies. They'll be pointing out to me, they'll be like, you sound like a conspiracy theorist, man. This guy's always been that way. It's always been like that. Always seen rainbows up there. It's just a rainbow, bro. You never seen a rainbow before, bro? We just get more rainbows now. Better view out here. The nice agricultural lands. Yeah, man. Yeah, you can see a little bit, but yeah, on a higher car, you can see this. I can't get you guys a good view. The car's too low. But yeah, it's just this nice little... It's nice. There's just some nice little farm-type homes down there, down on the river. There's another spot, too, that's even prettier, but looks better when you're sitting up high. As we get to the Tri-Cities, they'll come up on the big old Columbia River. Everything's Columbia, coast to coast, District of Columbia, Columbia River, the border for Washington State. Something I've seen today on the highway, I saw them this morning. Two police trucks. I don't know if they were highway patrol or what. They were unmarked police trucks. I'm like, why do cops need trucks? Like, what are you putting in the flatbed of a truck? Unless it's just a way to write more tickets. People aren't suspecting the police truck. But yeah, anyway, trying to think if there's anything else in my brain. My brain is definitely tired. Went to bed real late last night, got up real early. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about old humanity. It just seems like it's so set in its ways. The news knows it too. That's why the news is always negative. Nobody's going to watch unless it's negative. I've never been that way, though. That's why I never liked the news my whole life. It's like, why do people watch this? You like just being a low vibration all the time? Love this low vibration information. Love feeling anxious. Love the temporary onset of depression. Nightly news, man, it's just hilarious. All negativity, commercial, pretty much all pharmaceuticals. Didn't used to be that way, though. It's like a mini Grand Canyon over here. But yeah, I just watching just life unfold. Remember when I was a kid, there was only one pharmacy in town, and then all of a sudden they built a whole bunch of pharmacies at once, and I was just so weirded out by it. It was back in the days when I was on my BMX bike. Young kid, probably around 10 years old or so. All of a sudden, just pharmacies just starting to pop up everywhere. And I thought, why are there pharmacies everywhere now? We always just had one pharmacy. Now we got pharmacies like mile apart here, mile apart here, mile apart here. My whole bike, everywhere I covered with my bike, like all the vicinity of the neighborhoods all my friends lived in where I rode around. It's probably like 2 miles each direction. All of a sudden, you know, one pharmacy, all of a sudden there's like 5 pharmacies in that area. And the next thing you know, all of a sudden on TV, now they're starting to advertise pharmaceutical drugs. The next thing you know, They're the biggest industries in the world. The next thing you know, they're writing your laws. The next thing you know, you're in lockdown and you can't go out until you comply with Big Pharma. Like, oh, I see how this goes. It's what we call power moves. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's just like nearly everything that everybody's going to the store for is an eating disorder. It's like, man, if you just checked your eating disorder, you just ate a little bit better, got a little bit better exercise, got a little bit more sleep, probably wouldn't need any of that. Lack of sleep, high blood pressure, too much sugar, too much salt, high blood pressure, too much food, diabetes, sugar too, but go in the grocery store, processed foods packed with sugar. Most profitable section of the grocery store, the pharmacy. And that's the thing too, when I was growing up, it was like grocery stores didn't have pharmacies in them. Maybe some did, but not every single one. Now every single one has a pharmacy. It's like a grocery store doesn't exist without a pharmacy. Yeah, if only this car's set up a little bit higher, I'd be able to give you a better view, but I can't. It's just, the car's too low. There are some nice sights along the river. Something I like about the new town I live in, it's not on the Columbia River, but it's on the Yakima River, which isn't a bad river. It flows into the Columbia. But, yeah, it's got this nice little old bridge, and you can just walk down below the bridge and just sit right on the river. I think I'll be doing a lot of outdoor live streams, being my new spot when I just want to talk about things, hanging out down by the river. However, when it warms up a bit, I've noticed people fish off the bridge, so they might be down there fishing when the season warms up. Who knows? These are vineyards out here. It is wine country out here too. If anybody's got some money, there's a guy in Little Prosser. He has a restaurant called Bill's. Well, it's not really a restaurant. It's a spot to drink wine and eat cheese. But he's selling his business and he's selling his house so he can move into city limits because he wants to be the mayor of Prosser. But yeah, I was looking at his listing online. He's got a pretty nice house. It's on 5 acres, and 1 acre of it is nothing but wine grapes. And the listing price isn't bad. As much as homes cost right now, it's like, man, anybody want to grow some grapes? There's a pretty good deal out here. Get that wine business going. Collaborate. Get the resources. Feelings, man. People pay a lot for feelings, don't they? It's like ultimately alcohol, smokes, cigarettes, weed, drugs. Ultimately, those beverages are about getting to a certain feeling. It's like people want to feel a different way, so they'll pay a lot for it. Look at that house up there, just in the middle of the hills. Planes must have got lost again this morning with all the tick-toe patterns. It's sad to think, man, if you were born in like the last 10, 15 years, you don't remember like what a deep blue sky looks like. It's just like, that's not a thing anymore. However, I do remember the last time it was a thing. It was the days right after the C-19 pandemic was declared. I remember they didn't spray for like 3 days at all, and the sky got like this dark blue. Hadn't seen it in forever. These days it always looks like Arizona's drinking water. Arizona with that. It's like light milk. You're like, is there milk coming out of the tap? Nope, that's just Arizona's drinking water. People who build homes like this just right off the freeway, I'm just like, I mean, that's got to be just the noisiest thing in the world, just constant noise pollution. I'm always amazed when people do that. Why would you want to live so close to the freeway? I guess technically this is an interstate, but you know what I mean. By the way, for all you football fans out there trying to wake up your friends and family, another great example, we're always talking about New York in 39. Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets at age 39. Brett Favre, his first year with the Jets was the year he turned 39. Of course, Brett Favre once on the Packers, coaching the young Rodgers. That's right, man. It's just just the stuff that goes on every day. I think there'd be just all kinds of channels, and I am grateful that there are. When I first started, it was just me doing it. Pretty much all the comments are like, "You sound crazy." Now there's a lot more people in the world who recognize the worth. There are people putting out the work, but man, it should be way bigger than it is. Sadly, all the channels that have a platform that's established think they learned, oh, if we cover this, man, we might lose our ad revenue. So we're just gonna have to pretend like that doesn't exist, because our real priority here is to pretend like we're about the truth, but make sure that cash flow is coming in. That's what my channel's really about. I love how people are always attacking me. Zach's only here for money. It's like, okay, I literally worked here every single day for 5 years straight, grinding, never raised a penny. Show me anyone else in the world who ever did anything like that, period, anywhere. I'm not just about on YouTube. Just show me anyone who worked their ass off every day for 5 years straight for nothing. Besides the point of getting out to work, trying to wake people up. Because again, back then, it was before 2020. And my whole message never changed. I was like, we got to wake up by 2020, you guys. It's going to be bad when 2020 comes around. Just wait and see. Just wait and see how bad it's going to get in 2020. And you'd think as bad as it did get in 2020, that they're lulling us back to sleep right now, but there'll be another phase of just like 2020, even worse. You think there'd be even more people be like, okay, I got to help get out the work. Well, that was the first time it dropped out. Not bad. Other times I've gone on this route, it's dropped out a lot more. It's dropped out a lot more in times past. Shout out to Rob. Rob's in the chat. Yeah, we're coming into the Tri-Cities here. It's the biggest population area on this side of the state, I think, unless Spokane's bigger. Maybe Spokane's bigger, actually. If Spokane's bigger, it's the second biggest population area. Spokane's definitely got more of a downtown. It's got like one of those old historic downtowns. Tri-Cities is kind of like a suburban sprawl on the river. Shout out to HSB. I appreciate that big generosity. I'll read your super chat later. It's too hard for me to read it on the road. But I do appreciate it. I know when it's orange, that means somebody got super generous. Thank you very much. But yeah, I guess the other thing that I need to say on this stream is, you know that Otis Redding song, Sitting by the Dock of the Bay? I still can't whistle. The first time I ever whistled in my life was listening to that song, just trying to whistle so hard. And I still whistle about as well as I do when I heard that song when I was 6 years old. Not very good. But, yeah, I think everybody likes that song. I've never met anybody who listened to that song and said, I don't like this song. But anyway, R.I.P. to Otis Redding. But he says in that song, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, that he can't listen to what a whole bunch of people tell him to do. So he guess he'll remain the same. And, yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Because, like, when you're online, you got a million different people telling you a million different opinions. Somebody loves something, somebody hates something. You know, some people liked when I did the Twavith video. Some people thought it was, like, the meanest, rudest thing ever. And, I mean, that's just the way life is. You cannot appeal to everyone. But yeah, just because so many people have been in their feelings, and it seems like my rants have been like really hurting people lately. You know, I've been less ranty, and then I got other people who are saying, well, I've been watching less because you've been boring lately, Zach. Like, I like your rants. They're funny. It's just, you know, I mean, again, you can't please everyone. And yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I got to figure it out. I got to find the happy medium. I guess there's a way to rant without it offending as many people, but I've been trying to please everyone, and it's impossible. So, and again, ultimately, I think all the people who don't identify with me and know where I come from, I just think it's because they're not awake. I mean, that's really what I think is going on. It's like, if you recognize how messed up things are in the world, you know why I'm ranting and saying things I am. The world is messed up. People are asleep at the wheel. People should be taking notice of what we've been doing in this community, the knowledge we've been getting out. The censorship is maddening. Being trolled all the time is maddening. You know, the trolls know exactly what they're doing, and people fall for it. Again, the video I put out about Furman in Virginia, first comment, you didn't take Furman. It's like, shut up, troll. I told everybody it was a good upset pick. I put out a list of upset picks. It's right up at the top. But I said, don't bet too much on it because the media is selling it so much. But I said the numbers are strong for it. The numbers look great. Had the media not hyped Furman, I would have been on it all the way, 1,000,000%. And again, and just for that to even be the first comment's a joke. Every game that we have in at that moment at the time the video is made is perfect, or every pick is perfect at that point. That should be the only real first comment. Just like while I'm getting tips at the same time, people have already made good money, you know? And again, I'm charging a rock bottom price every month for a ton of awesome sports content. Call in and listen to people call in. Hey, I just started here. I've already made $500. Hey, I've never turned $50 into $2,500 so fast. Again, what I teach is not perfect because it's impossible to be a perfect gambler, but I teach winning smart methods. I teach responsible methods. There is such a thing as being responsible with gambling. I never teach addiction. I teach how to be smart with your picks, money management, and how to take advantage of the knowledge and the rigging. And again, it's about more than just making money. It's about helping people stop investing their time and energy in rig sports, you know, buying out all the merchandise. None of these schools, none of these pro teams deserve to be supported. They're all in the ritual sacrificed rig game business. And it's sick. And it is all synced up with the news, as again today proves, in spades. And again, I mean, it was just the other year I was talking about Virginia in news, and here they are again. The other time they were on a winning side of it, this time they're on the losing side of it. And the year Virginia became the first 16 seed to lose to a 1 seed, By the way, that year I pointed out that this would be the year of the 136th matchup between a 16 and a 1. 136 is the 16th triangular number. And in the 136th match between the 16 and 1 on March 16th of that year, it was 2018, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, number 16 seed, upset number 1 seed Virginia. And then the next year, Virginia had the riddle to win, and they won the championship. Last year, Kentucky was a 2 seed who got embarrassed in the opening game on St. Patrick's Day by St. Peter's Peacocks, who continued their winning streak through Peacock Day. And we had a field day with that. It was like free money. But, yeah, again, I mean, you know, it's like charge $5 a year, work your ass off all year for people. And some people really do appreciate it. But then, you know, you got all these haters. It's like, how can you hate on what I do? I mean, had you just been with me for the weekend of Saturnalia, you would have, you know, made a down payment for your next house, car, whatever. And again, I mean, you could have tuned out the rest of the year. That's why I keep the fare low, so people can afford it and change their life, as many people have. And that's the real reason I got the haters and trolls around, because the casinos and the bookies, they don't like it. They don't care about helping out Cousin Mar, etc. They care about making their stacks fatter. What we're teaching is not helping them make their stacks fatter. That said, from teaching the knowledge, it's obvious they've switched up their methods a tiny bit. Some things aren't as consistent as they used to be. Once upon a time, if a team could pick up 14 in Utah, it was coming through like rock solid. Now it's probably like 70%. Still not bad. But yeah, a lot of people getting fooled by the con men out there. Travis, we have a great college football weekend. Travis, upload the video about how much money we lost. It's like, really? Because we were super confident TCU, that paid $350 if you bet 100, would win. And I did say that Ohio State, you know, they had the narrative to at least cover, which they did. They did have a narrative to potentially win. That's where the big money was. $10 would have become over $100 just parlaying those 2 games. But Travis, you got to put out a video about how bad it was, when in reality everybody made a lot of money. And how did I know? Before we got to see that ugly motherfucker on the screen with his lispy ass voice, what did I tell you about him? Again, because I come from the 90s. The only kind of people that do stuff back in the day like that, they're the same kind of people that want to plunder you in the asshole. Species of man that's becoming more common by the day because of the agendas. So anyway, True Seeker, getting to the destination, and today of running errands. I think I'm at the right spot. I don't see what I'm looking for here. That's where it said to go. Anyway, I'll end the stream, you guys. I got to find this place. Thanks again to the super chatters. I will read out your super chats later. And thank you to all you guys who don't succumb to the drama and catch the low vibration troll wagon that's rolling through town. So appreciate all of you, all the real ones. Till next time.